have is the ability to turn it on. They can play, part of it is just they seem like they haven't been together for a very long time. Right. They have a lot of individual talents, but putting that together cohesively, for the entire game, I think that's something they're going to get better after the second half and as this tournament unfolds.
And any team that has success, they talk about team chemistry. Yep. And when you're bringing in different pieces constantly, I imagine team chemistry always is on a level of transition and conforming and so on. So, and that may be where the skills factory is.
I mean, clearly, because you can see the talent.
Yeah. Long three, no good by King. Skills factory quickly in transition. The floater will not go, but a foul is drawn by Christian Wright. We've been calling his name a good bit here since the second quarter rather.
And what Christian Wright is able to do, I mean, really getting out in the fast break, creating opportunities, more one-on-one situations. So you get that. That's the easy way to get back into a game. Defense leading to transition, leading to easy baskets.
And the skill set is transition basketball versus half-court offense sets. And you got to know how to do both. But I think coaches like the quick play, and especially when you've got guys who are so big and so quick for their size, playing that transition basketball is going to be a lot better. That means you got to play some defense on the one side.
Indeed, because transition, you don't have to set up, you don't have to run a lot of complicated plays. It's really just getting the ball, creating angles, and really give and go situations.
Jun Suk Yo will give it off. The Scovey Vanette inside. Khalifa floats it, doesn't go. Battle for it, and the size of Global Academy, and Giddy pulls it in. Now he loses the handle on it, and here comes a fast break for the Skills Factory at the glass, is blocked by King. But the Skills Factory will find a way to put it up and in.
And Mr. Wright again is right in the action, really playing aggressively and keeping his team involved in this game.
Khalifa. I tell you what, Jun Suk Yo is really everywhere. Good feed, and that took some good communication as Wright finds Markeith Browning.
And Wright is doing everything for his team right now, really getting everybody involved and really taking opportunities when he have them.
That ball sent out to Giddy, no good. And some missed opportunities. There's Mohammed on the rebound. 6-point game, just like that, out of the halftime break. Skills Academy is finding their footing.
Basketball, it's such an amazing game. Every time you think you have it figured out, instantaneously it can change.
And a timeout on the floor by Global Academy. Check out this block by King. Off the transition. Loose basketball. And the closing by King. Bam. And it just happened to be Skills Factory there for the putback. But the ability for him to close at that angle and get a hand on it.
I might make him an honorary big man for the game.
No, I think he'll take it. Mojave King has been very impressive. Out of Australia. They say in his notes, quick, athletic, and in transition. Yeah, I think so. His quick first step, plays above the rim. We've seen it all. All those things have been on display.
Yes, indeed. The scouting report is indeed accurate.
And by the way, speaking of scouting report, this is an open recruiting period, so the coaches from all over the country here getting a chance to see these young men in action.
And I can't tell you how huge that is. An opportunity to go to college, really get an education. For some of these young men, this is a life-changing opportunity. This will transform the entire family. So, I mean, it can be understated how significant it is to have a good showing here and really display not only your basketball credentials, but also the total person, the 360 approach.
Speaking of 360, Jun Suk Yo had one, gave it off to Khalifa, and he puts it up and in.
And I love Khalifa, man. He has pace. He understands how to use his body, and he's shooting from outside, inside, really crafty around the basket. That's pretty nice.
Jeffries loses the handle on it, and here comes Global Academy. Khalifa back to King, floater not going to go. Muhammad rips it down. Here's Wright. Wright bangs and will be fouled just for his shot.
And there you see Wright again, really creating opportunities in fast break, moving the ball quickly, and really getting under the paint, creating contact, and giving himself an opportunity to go to the line to make 2 free throws.
Christian Wright, going to be a junior at Milton High School here in the Atlanta area. Averaged 23 points per game last season at the Skills Factory. Ended the season with 6 consecutive 30-point games.
And after watching him, I'm exhausted already, and he's been playing almost every minute so far.
And he makes his free throws, and just like that, 54-51. Global Academy holds their lead. But the Skills Factory has come out and been impressive here in the second half.
And you can see they kind of slow the game down and being more patient.
Khalifa.
And Khalifa has been on fire. I mean, really bringing this idea. You don't have to be physical. Yeah. You don't have to be the most aggressive, but it's the skill factor that he brings to it. It's pretty impressive what he's been able to do so far with guys that are more physical than him.
I love what you said, how the Skills Factory has slowed the game down, because that's not just commentary. You can feel the way they're playing that they've slowed it down, and the more vision is Issa Muhammad is going to get a chance for an and one.
And I think that gives Issa Muhammad an opportunity to have more of an impact of the game. So it's really more about disciplining yourself, not just going to the basket because you can, but really creating angles and making sure you have the optimum shot and really giving it up to the next person. And you can see them realizing, okay, we're not going to win if we just keep playing one-on-one basketball. We have to get other people involved.
And he does make his free throws. And we mentioned at halftime, we have not called Muhammad's name. He is clearly one of the biggest players, most physically impressive players on the floor.
I mean, he really reminded me of LeBron James. He can be in the NBA in terms of his body size and structure.
Khalifa turns around and finds it. Good vision by the big guy.
Man, I'm feeling really happy right now. Khalifa is doing it all. I think when I talk about creating balance is the ability to go outside, but also going inside and taking advantage of what you have there and being skilled.
Wright flashes the ball handling skills and can't get offensive points. And once again, we're calling Khalifa's name.
Khalifa. Pretty impressive, running the floor, doing all the little things that makes your team have a chance to win.
And now timeout by the Skills Factory, as they've seen Global Academy now put together a couple of back-to-back impressive defensive and offensive sets, 60-54 here in the third quarter. Wait, now it's like a boxing match. They're punching back and forth.
Definitely the CISA approach right now. And I think, the Skill Factory, they came out, they understood, what was been happening. Obviously, the coaches talked to them about it at the half, and they came in, changed a little bit of strategy, and then, now you're seeing Global is really taking back the reins a little bit. So it's going to be, an up and down game, and they're going to keep competing all the way to the end.
NBA Academy Global. They're in Australia, and that is literally on the other side of the world, and these games are available now through YouTube and through some of the other social media platforms. How cool is that the families and friends of these folks get a chance to see what their friends are doing and their sons are doing across the seas?
I went to Canberra for the last 2 games, and I'm telling you, just getting there, I think I shrunk at least 7 inches, and I'm still looking for 2 days that I've lost. So, but I mean, the opportunity to really grow the game and having our family being able to participate, even though they're not here, is such a big thing. You always want to see your kids play, but it could be so prohibitive in terms of cost to travel across the, all across the world with your kids. So be able to see them and really participate is such a huge thing.
Well, we do want to give a shout out and a welcome to everybody who's tuning in, and thank you for supporting these young athletes and their journey through life and through basketball. Is the skills factory. Mohammed's going to put it up. Mohammed's father was an Olympic swimmer with Michael Phelps. You talk about, soccer can be a springboard to a football type, American football. I'm not sure swimming translates to basketball. But you never know. I mean, the athleticism and the body forming that takes place for swimmers is huge. And Issa Muhammad has got the body form.
And I think part of it too is the psychology of competing.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a household, you want to compete because everybody plays sports, and that competition, could be very addictive.
A laser beam shot by the skills factory. Browning doesn't go. And then at the rim, Principal Singh. You don't want to go to that principal's office.
He's going to go to the principal's office because he did get a technical foul for making some loud noise.
So a technical foul on Singh, and Issa Muhammad will take it.
And Principal Singh, you could understand the elation and the exuberance and going a little bit overboard because he's been having... he's been playing great out on the floor, but he didn't have a lot of baskets to show for it. So being able to get in there and putting it up, send it in, big fella.
And then the chatter afterwards was the technical and made by Skills Factory, 62-55. And checking in for Skills Factory is Galloway. Out goes Mohammed, and the Skills Factory will check it in. One thing that the officials have been great. They've been letting these guys play. It's been very physical, but they're making sure their shirts are tucked in, buddy.
Yes, indeed. You have to represent the game. We talk a lot in our life skill about respect for the game,
Yes.
and it's important that we pass those knowledge on.
And if you have respect for the game, you're going to have respect for the people that are around the game, and I think that's where it begins, and I respect that greatly. Is Global Academy can't get it to go. Here comes quick transition basketball for the Skills Factory and some physical play. Looks like Wright got hammered.
Okay.
And you gotta love how much of these guys really just leaving everything out on the floor and really making the best effort to leave their mark in this game. That is truly what this is about. Coming out, playing hard. Don't worry so much about the score. Just worry about
Right.
competing and being at your best.
In the game is Mekhi McAllister, wears number 12, out of Landmark Christian here in Atlanta.
And Christian Wright again at the center of his team, and the free throw line seemed to be doing it all for the Skill Factory.
So here comes Global. We got a basketball game, 62-57. NBA Academy Global. Now baseline. Absolutely back to the net and flips it is Joshua Giddey.
The whoop-de-doo.
The whoop-de-doo. Trademarked by Donald Foyle. The whoop-de-doo. I like it. Watch this. Putting players in position. Goes baseline. Can't find anything. And the old whoop-de-doo.
There you go.
Back live, 65-57. Wright extended himself just a bit. Picked up by his teammate. Thinks about a three ball. And here's where they're slowing it down and getting position and have a set piece.
Right.
Ball's on the floor and a whistle as it looks like it's going to stay with Skills Factory.
And that's a situation where Christian Wright kind of really held onto the ball a little bit long there. Really, if he had a chance to move it a little bit and then you get the defense shifting a little bit, you get a little bit more angles to get penetration.
Three ball, that is the young man from Landmark Christian, McAllister. And then the put back offensively.
And Grant Jones, getting that rebounds, they need a little bit more of that.
And Global finds a way to answer.
And Blake Jones, that was a nice, smooth shot down in the paint.
Wright fading away. Well, it hung on the basket, just doesn't get the drop the correct way. And you're going to get a whistle a long way away from the basket, I believe, on Jones.
And it makes me so happy when a guy's on the floor and your teammates run and pick you up. I mean, those are the kind of, respect for each other that you want to see. And that's the kind of thing that breeds camaraderie in a team.
Now, there has been, how do you feel about the opponent picking up a player? You okay
sometimes,
with that?
yeah, sometimes
Okay.
it's okay. Just, you both of you go down, you're working hard, pick each other up, and, you pat and you go down and start doing it all over again. We're going to be in the ground for a little bit, but we can respect each other when we get off the ground.
But once you're up, it's game on.
Yeah, game on.
Miles,
As a big man, we appreciate that.
there you go. Miles Hunt checks in, and no foul called as Armstrong goes tumbling. Back up, and boy, he gets hacked again, and then the finish by Jun Sakyo.
If I fall on the ground like that, I would not be getting up and making a pass in the paint. I can tell you that right now. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Picks himself up, gets the assist. 69-59, back to a 10-point lead by Global. Just thrown at the basket goes Galloway. Well, how about that pass? And then reverse. Young C. Chewy. Well, that was crafty.
That was indeed crafty.
Wright doesn't have to do it all his own. He's got four other guys. Maybe slow it down a little bit. And, of course, on the other end, Miles Hunt clobbers Blake Jones.
And you can see, how Global decided that now they're going to keep playing defense, really bringing the defensive intensity back up. And, of course, by doing that, they're getting now opportunities to run out and getting some easy fast break opportunities.
Jones. Effortless free throw. Checking in for Skills Factory is Jeffries, Mohammed, and Browning. Harvey King and Dyson Daniels for Global. Missed free throw, but Global's weathered the storm, the punches that came from the Skills Factory right out of the halftime break. Mohammed, three. Not feeling it. Here's Daniels. Young C. Chewy off to Daniels. And then tapped away, and loose ball is going to go out of bounds and going to go to the Skills Factory. That's a turnover caused solely by Jeffries' aggressiveness.
And that's what you want. I mean, especially when you're down, you want to keep playing the game, but you want to keep trying to have the other team speed up their pace, which will give you an advantage.
Yeah, teams who play in their rhythm generally play their game. That's a great make there by Browning. If you get a team out of the rhythm or never allow them to get into it, they struggle all game long.
Well, and that's what you're trying to do all the time, is to really take a team out of the game and frustrating them.
Charge going to be whistled on Principal Singh.
And I'm kind of curious to see what kind of player Principal Singh is going to become, because you can see the potential there.
Yeah.
And it's just a question now of the right development and continue to make progress towards defining his game.
Browning slings it out to Jeffries. And you got a whistle. Did he step on the base of the sideline there?
Yes, he did.
So turnover by the Skills Factory with 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter. King, he's right back at it with the floater.
I love his game, man. I think the future is going to be bright for this young man. He has a good feel for the game.
And you're going to get another turnover by the Skills Factory.
And you can see them pressing a little bit, and they have to get back to what they were doing. It's so easy and it's so difficult to tell guys, defense leads to offense.
And the horn sounds for the third quarter, and it's 74-61 NBA Academy Global over the Skills Factory. Fourth quarter when we return here on the NBA YouTube channel. (74-61), just ahead of the fourth quarter here. As the Skills Factory will inbound and get it started, they trail. Came out strong in the early part of the third quarter. I think NBA Academy Global made some adjustments, threw the Skills Factory off their game, and now they've got to come out and find an answer. That one rattles in and out for Browning.
And that was a good start by Skills Academy, penetrating and really creating opportunities. That's what they were doing when they first came out at the half.
Tap back by Mohammed. Here's Wright. Wright will slow it down. Issa's going to take it. Shot just off a bit for Mohammed.
And Mohammed is still, trying to shoot jump shot when you need to get something going to the basket, get your confidence up, and really create some opportunities for yourself. Right now, he's just really trying to force that three-point shot into the basket.
Early on, he was trying to penetrate. I think the Global was so good defensively. Maybe he's tentative on trying to go deep into the key.
There is no question about that, and that's part of the thing. You can drag the ball a little bit more. So if you're not getting your shot, you create for somebody else, and that's something as a big man. If you learn that now, it really helps you later down the line.
5-second violation on the inbound by Global. 13-point game as Rob Johnson directing things for Skills Factory. That one bounces off of Mohammed and out of bounds.
And, that's going to come with time, really slowing down. When you see the ball coming, the tendency is to think two moves ahead.
Right.
I'm going to dunk it and I'm going to hold in the ring rather than catch it first and secure the first act.
King, being guarded by Wright, uses the big screen by Singh, and it stays with Global.
And Global has been so aggressive and competing.
And there's a steal by Sun, and up and in by Jeffries. So 11 points separate these two. Plenty of time for the Skills Factory to string some points together. Got to get a defensive stop, however. And that's going to go off of Global. Blake Jones.
And that's the defense. You have to be able to be there and commit one and two people. When it comes to penetration, really stopping the penetration, and definitely Skill Factory did a good job there that time.
All right, so here's Skills Factory.
When I first got to coach with Don Nelson, one of the things he says, he started counting, deflection, and deflection became a very big indicator of how well you're doing defensively. But more than that, that means you're going to be having a lot of opportunities on the offensive end as well. So that becomes now one of those defensive indicators, and it's huge because it means that as a team you're very active and you're shrinking the size of the flow.
Here in the fourth quarter, 74-65. NBA Academy Global. Now they're going to put us on here. I tell you what, it's a great opportunity to be here. Again, the facility, to see these young men, to see these coaches from around the country watching really the future of the basketball here in the States.
The future of basketball, I think, globally is so bright because you've seen what the United States have to offer, what kids from all over the world is bringing to this stage. And you say, basketball is in a great place.
Right, absolutely. And I think what's so amazing about what NBA Academy is doing is they are providing these kids the opportunity to provide their own opportunities as a three ball drops in for Giddey.
And I think there is something value in saying, we want to grow our game. And at the same time, in order to do it, we understand we're going to give a lot of people opportunities. I see nothing wrong in a win-win situation.
Wright's going to be called for the charge. 77-65, and those are big wins. And I like what Global did. Well, they were high-fiving and slapping everybody because they got the charge call.
And if you create a culture where defense is rewarded, more people want to play defense.
Yeah, that's right. King, put back, Singh, make it Khalifa on the putback.
This is Khalifa's game. He has made an impact in this game and put his fingerprint, footprint, everything in this game.
Steal, Daniels, and how about the slap by Muhammad? Almost went back half court. And then Lone Sun is all by himself for the put-in for the Skills Factory. Well, that was like tennis all of a sudden.
I know. Muhammad really did a good job protecting the rim there. And that's what he can do. He can do so much more than just focusing on offense. He can rebound, offensive rebound, really giving his teams opportunities to be successful.
79-67. And officials going to discuss the possession here. It's going to be Global. Well, Harvey King will inbound. Here's Giddey. Believe he can't get it to drop, but the confidence is there, isn't it, for that big guy?
There's no question about it. Even the misses starting to look good.
And Muhammad has another one rattle in and out. All by himself. There is Ali Khalifa.
Ali Khalifa is the star of this game. Really playing smart basketball, patient, really finding angles and finishing.
Wright is able to put it in for the Skills Factory. Go ahead.
No, I said the other end, Wright's been doing a great job as well, really competing and keeping his team in this game.
For these international players, is going to college in the States and playing at the NBA level in the United States still the ultimate goal, or there's so many opportunities in their home countries or home regions?
For the academy, what we try to focus on is creating a lot of opportunities outside. We bring so many kids into the academy, but when they exit, there's so many paths for them to take. But we want to stress, obviously, college and the importance of doing that and giving themselves an opportunity to have an education, because we know, obviously, as responsible stewards, they're all not going to be NBA players. So getting that education becomes extremely important. As the first person in your family going to college, you can transform not only your life, but the life of the people in your family as well.
That ball is out of bounds and goes to Global. Checking in is Taryn Armstrong. And Giddy will check out. 5 minutes left in this one, 83-69. NBA Academy Global. And Skills Factory. Khalifa. Boy, that hesitation gets the defenders in the air, and he did it brilliantly.
And when you, as a big man, you start realizing that it's not so much always about being the biggest person or the strongest person, but crafty comes with understanding what you can do. And there you see a young man understanding his skill. Quick move, patience, waiting, letting everybody jumps, and then going up and getting the foul. And didn't finish the basket that time, but give himself an opportunity to get on the free throw line and make two.
When you watch basketball, the size of the athletes and the physical nature of the athletes is apparent. The IQ is what is seen as the between the baskets. Some of these guys have great high IQs already.
Yes, indeed, and that is not normal.
Right. Finish by King.
And that was a nice move, really tracing the ball, not giving up on the play and giving yourself an opportunity to have a dunk there.
Son traveled, they could say he's going to be fouled. King will check out, as well as Khalifa.
Ali definitely could get a rest right now. He's been playing amazing basketball.
Here comes, on the replay, that finish by King. The bodies hit the deck here. Back live, 4:15 left, 86-69. It seems like there's a hush because the other game is also in a timeout.
Yes,
on the other side. So here's Wright at the free throw line.
The silence of the gym.
That's right, the sound of silence. But again, the first time this is being held, the NBA Academy Games being held here in the United States, last 2 seasons in Australia. It's got to be a great opportunity for the young men to come. Atlanta, a huge major city of the facilities, the Atlanta Hawks, Emory Sports Medicine facilities. I saw the chairs. You were relaxing in one when I got here. I'm just going to be honest.
It is a nice facility.
It's a beautiful facility.
But I think what's make this so special as the United States is that you have some universities that don't have the resources to send a person over to Africa, to Africa,
Sure.
or to send a person over to Australia. So when you have it here in the States, you're giving maybe that extra person an opportunity to give this young person an opportunity to change their lives. You give them a chance to get a scholarship. So I think it's amazing because it brings the game, to folks who can't otherwise get to it, and it gives more people opportunities to get to the next level.
And there's they're assistant coaches here watching from some of the big conferences, but you also see Radford,
Right.
mid-majors. I saw Dayton earlier, George Washington, some of these other programs at the mid-major level that are going to give these young athletes an opportunity and that they may not get otherwise.
Yeah, because they may not have the budget to travel all the way
Right.
to Australia, but coming here, giving them an opportunity. And as I said, this is an opportunity that can transform their lives, for generations.
Working inside, Grant Jones. Good move, but then a block by Jun Sakyo. And he will be called for the foul. I thought he got a lot of basketball there.
Yeah, I thought Juzaki played that really, really well. Maybe just holding his hand and not bringing it down a little bit would have secured a block on that one.
So here's Grant Jones.
And Grant Jones, you see the aggression. He certainly has the build, and I think now is the finesse inside. You have to go strong, you have to be big, and then you have to release that ball with finesse. And that's the next step, the intricacies of the steps down low, really getting there and realizing what you're trying to do is to get to a place where you can just shoot that nice shot over the top.
smothering defense by Skills Factory as Monunglo in, and the foul will be called. I didn't see who it was on, but it'll give the ball back to Skills Factory.
I think it was a travel in that one.
So turnover by Global gives Skills Factory a chance. Down by 15, 86-71, 3:24 left. Wright, a little short arm, gets his own rebound. Battle by Global, and they'll come down with it. And you're going to get Grant Jones on the foul. Muhammad going to check back in for the Skills Factory.
And when we talk about the growth of the game internationally, I mean, part of the competition is to see where you match up. You know, as a player in the States, you know, you have to see the competition around the world. I mean, we talked a lot with the NBA. When I got in '97, we had about maybe 20 players. Now, almost a quarter of the league is international players. That is your natural competition if you're in the United States, and you really start getting a sense of where you match up against the best in the world.
Turnover, and here comes the Skills Factory. More games to be played this weekend. You can check out on YouTube. Wiley Ballard will be back for Saturday's game, July 13th at 5:45 start. And then Sunday, July 14th, a pair of games, 10:15 and 2 p.m. And then the afternoon game, the NBA Academy game final at 4 p.m. You're doing yeoman's work here, having to work with me and Wiley.
It's been a lot. It's been really a lot of fun. I have not done this before, and to be able to come and just talk about the game, and really, I feel in so many ways that I've seen these kids grow up.
Sure.
So I feel like a proud papa in many ways.
And you've been involved with the NBA Academy. You've traveled with them. This must be very rewarding for you after your career ends to still be entwined into the future of basketball.
You know, I think part of when you want to really make sure the future is secure, you know, as someone who has come from a country overseas, from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I felt that part of what we need to do is to give back to the next generation. I always believe that that's truly the highest calling, and if you can do that and influence or inform the next generation, I think that's what that's the highest calling, really.
Armstrong at the line, can't get the bounce, misses both, and Mohammed pulls it away and gives it to Browning, Markeith Browning the third to bring it up. Mohammed, quick trigger, and he'll be fouled beyond the mark, and he finally gets one to drop.
Of course, he had to get fouled to get it.
Exactly. Had to have a hand in his face.
It was too easy before.
Yep, and he buries it. That's got to feel good for that young man.
Yeah, because you look at it's such a burden to be considered, you know, the most in terms of aspirational for the future, and you're carrying that load on your back, and every time you go out, you have to live up to that expectation. So you can imagine, you know, being able to come out and everybody's expecting so much from you, and you're not performing at that level. It could be quite daunting for a young man. So sticking with it and continuing to, you know, to fight, I think that's, to me, that is impressive so far.
Can't get the free throw to drop. And pressure applied by Wright. He's going to get whistled. That's going to send Dyson Daniels to the line. And it looks like a timeout going to be called by NBA Academy Global with 2:11 left. Here in this one, 86-74. What has been fun, has been an honor to come in here and sit next to you and Jordan, who's he's actually running the broadcast and a camera now. So
that's skill.
And Marie's been great, and it's just all around so far. It's just been one great experience, and so I appreciate you doing the broadcast with me, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for putting up with me.
So during the timeout, the coaches gather, and we get a chance again, thank everybody for tuning in to NBA YouTube. As more games will come this weekend, support these young men. Find out about NBA Academy by going to the NBA Academy website and support these athletes in the future of basketball, because it's a unique sport. It's got the physical nature, it's got the athletic nature, the team competition. Basketball is just a fun sport, and I've been around collegiate athletes for a while, how it prepares people for life.
Indeed, and I think it does something more. It's accessible. If you look at a lot of the other sports, you need so much equipment to be able to effectively participate, and I think that's why this game has grown so global, because you're given with the sneakers and a ball, and you're able to create a game where everybody feel like they have an equal chance to compete.
Well, it starts as a kid when you have a little a piece of paper you ball up and throw to the trash can,
exactly,
and it begins right there.
There it is.
Free throws made by Daniels. Here's Wright again, trying to step through a double team, closing defense by Global. And I think they're going to get whistled for a foul. It's going to be on Vescovi-Vanette.
And I think Global is going to definitely get some rest and some adulation from the coaching staff, because they have been consistent defensively throughout this entire game and continue, to force Skill Factory to be outside of the comfort zone.
So Wright makes the free throws. 88-76, approaching the 2-minute mark. And then a steal, almost by Wright.
And Christian Wright, he has been so gifted in really just being all over the place, working hard, continuing to keep his team in the game, by just keep playing hard. And that is something that coaches look at and say, here's a young man, never gives up, no matter what the score is, winning or losing, you continue to try to help your team. That to me is impressive.
And some people just have a natural engine that is constant. He seems like one of those players that he's not coming off the floor, and when he's on the hardwood, he is playing at 100%.
As a big man, I don't like it one bit, but but as a coach, I appreciate it.
Battle for the basketball, and you're going to get a whistle on Jeffries. Wanted a simultaneous possession. Not going to get it, and stays with Global. Stay with us after the final buzzer. We'll have some interviews coming up from this one. As loose ball on the floor. Wright happens to be in the middle of it. Now Mohammed. And then a steal, bounces at the feet of Browning, and a heads-up play by Daniels. Daniels was flying out of bounds and able to pass it, or to throw it off the feet of Jeffries.
The patience of these guys, it's so much well beyond their years.
Browning all over Vescovi. Cuts to the baseline, off, wide open look for Armstrong, and he's going to be fouled. So that'll be on Kobe Jeffries. And Armstrong with 1:23 left. Buries the first one. Well, you've got a long weekend. What will be on the itinerary for you after these games conclude?
Just really going back to the Bay and maybe taking some time and going on a little vacation.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
My mom, if I don't go home and see my mom, she gets very upset. And
oh, boy.
When I played, she was a little bit more understanding. But now that in her mind I'm retired, there's no excuse.
There is no excuse. Go see your mother. Exactly. Crying out loud. Browning off to Muhammad, and that one's going to be tapped away by Global. Great passing once again, and the put up and in by Armstrong.
And that's one of the hallmark of today's game is the passing by Global and the defense.
Quick points there by Jeffries off the glass. They're giving it all now, just trying to find a way to turn it over, and picking up some fouls is Jeffries. And putting Global back on the line.
And Skill Factory's effort there may be just a little too late.
Well, tip of the cap, the NBA Academy Global came out ready to play, and I thought it was their defense really that set the tone.
And it's really a hard thing for young players to learn when all the adulation comes on the offensive end, and to come in and really set the pace and understand that defense is indeed lead to offense is truly awesome.
Oh, big. There's a miss by Browning, but he looked good doing it.
Indeed.
Again, ball movement and a whistle.